Yo, what is up, guys? It is Skibbity That Toilet 35 here for day 4 on the Royal Caribbean World Cruise. And so far, it's honestly been quite a cool trip. You know, the food's been nice, the service has been okay. The only complaint I have, really, is when I tried to ask for a water bottle, they all started pointing at me and speaking in some ancient Roman dialect. And it was just strange. I didn't exactly like that very much. Must have been the new guy or something.
What?
He's talking trash about our cruise, get him! What? How did you get in my room? Plot convenience. Whatever, man. Why are you even mad at me in the first place? I'm just reporting the cruise to my followers. That's literally why I came on this cruise in the first place. No one talks trash about the Royal Caribbean cruise. Haven't you read the rules? You literally copy and pasted the rules from the Five Nights at Freddy's game and posted it on my wall. What am I supposed to do with that? Read the fine print! Oh. Aw, shucks. Yeah, man, you're gonna have to go overboard. I'm sorry. All right, fine. I told you, goofballs, I would be back. Well, of course I'm back here in front of a camera. I do that every single day. But I told you I would be back talking about this cruise again. The Royal Caribbean World Cruise. I made a video about this, and some of you might know about it, but it happened way before I had a video that got 258,000 views on it. So I have a bit of new people in the front door as of lately. So allow me to reiterate what the Royal Caribbean World Cruise is, and then we'll go into what's been happening on it. Because just last year, or I guess the end of last year, at December like 26th or 27th, I made a video talking about how Royal Caribbean is hosting a world cruise. You know, the name, the World Cruise, where they're going to be doing a thing where they cruise. Can you guess? You want to guess? Yeah, around the world. And it's going to be a 9-month long, 9 months, almost a whole year, sitting on the poop deck, going to every single continent on the planet and visiting all of the wonders of the world, or at least most of the wonders of the world. And you might be like, that sounds swell, that sounds fine. I would even argue that sounds dandy. But oh, my dear viewer, there's more than meets the eye, just like Optimus Prime would say. A truly inspiring quote, because it's gone to shit already. I didn't expect it to go to shit this fast. I thought at least 2 or 3 months in, people would be enjoying their trip. They've already visited Antarctica. They got to see a penguin or two. But no, there's already drama, people banding into specific groups, and there's already been a dude who's gotten bullied off the ship. I mean, technically, he only paid for 18 days, but once he was kicked off the ship, everyone celebrated. What the hell's going on? It's actually like high school, but on a ship in the middle of the sea where you can't go home and eat dinner at the end of the day because you have to drink alcohol. The infinite amount of alcohol on the ship. Except for wine, because they've already run out of wine 2 months in. It's a shit show. It's a shit show all around. But let's be real for a second. This cruise was absolutely doomed from the get-go. Because while the tickets were initially the very reasonable and understandable price of around $1.2 million, you know, pocket change for a chap like me. I'm kidding. I'm drowning in student debt. I have like $0. But regardless of that, they managed to drop it down over time because not a soul bought the goddamn thing. Because who would? And so they changed it down to the much more reasonable price of a BMW 5 Series. $60,000. The ticket was 60 grand to get all the way around the planet. You can also just pay less for shorter amounts of the cruise, which is what one of the main characters of this video will have done. But a lot of people spent the whole thing. They wanted to do the whole thing. And honestly, you kind of need to do the whole thing, because if you don't, and this is where the first drama arises and what I covered in the first video, if you don't buy the entire trip, you don't get certain luxuries. Like, there's a town hall meeting where people come together to discuss what they're going to do. And if you didn't buy all 9 months, you're not invited to the town hall meeting. You're not even allowed to go in the doors, which has already started drama back when I first made that video, because they wanted to go see the Northern Lights, and they kept people who haven't paid enough from seeing the Northern Lights. They gate-kept people from a visual spectral anomaly, which is crazy to me. And there's also a lot of mainstream TikTokers that have been posting consistently on this cruise, but they're not exactly the ones I want to cover, because they're kind of just cruise TikTokers. Like, they're just people being like, day in the life on the cruise, I threw a kid overboard because he tried to take my coffee, things like that. It's just really simple shit. It's not very simple at all, it's murder, but it just very, very mundane things, like what they wore that day or what they're gonna eat for their meals. But there is one TikToker that has caused so much drama on the ship, which is so funny considering he hasn't done anything to initiate it. And this TikToker goes by the name of Sebastian.
Put cameras on that goddamn cruise. Put cameras on that ship right now. What do you mean there's a town hall people aren't being invited to? It's a cruise. What do you mean that the Pinnacle members are being treated differently? There's a caste system being formed? You haven't even been on there for 2 weeks. It's so haunted. There's going to be mutiny. There's going to be blood. Someone is going overboard. I want to watch. Bravo, where are you? I need eyes.
And lo and behold, he actually ended up getting a sponsor to pay for his world cruise trip. Not the 60 grand. That would be absolutely absurd. But a sponsor came forward paying $8,500 to cover 18 days for him to essentially just do a very non-biased coverage of the trip and kind of just let people know from the outside in what's going on this cruise.
I'm going on the Ultimate World Cruise. 18 nights. Aboard the Serenade of the Seas. I'm going to fucking Antarctica. I only own fashion jackets. What am I going to wear? And a very unexpected and cool brand reached out to me and was like, you want to go on that cruise? And I was like, really?
And my God, a guy who's going on to do a very well non-biased coverage of his trip on this cruise ended up facing some of the most intense drama and backlash I've ever seen. He riled up the Royal Caribbean Facebook group. They sent him death threats. This shit's insane. To the point that there was an article that I saw posted after he left the cruise saying, will the Ultimate World Cruise be drama-free without this TikToker? No! What do you think? They couldn't even handle a guy going on to just be a reporter. You think they're not going to be, like, they're going to find some other victim next. Because that's how drama groups work. They kick someone off and then do the next person and the next person until there's one dude left. It's like Fortnite, except with drama and emotional damage. One of the great pieces of drama I already saw happen from this guy is he learned there is a phrase you're not allowed to say. There's words you can't say on this cruise. And no, they're not racial slurs. You're not allowed to say the word Titanic. Yeah, the boat that sunk, you're not allowed to reference it. It's like Voldemort. I assume because they think it's bad luck, they're gonna get a bad omen, and they're gonna hit Antarctica or something. It's just, that's already goofy, but it gets even sillier from there. But this Mark Sebastian guy is honestly one of the most charismatic and fun to watch content creators I've seen in a long time. He does a lot of the similar videos that I referenced earlier, besides throwing children off the sides of the ships. He talks about his day on the ship, how it went, but alongside that, he also does videos where he, like, interviews other fellow TikTokers who are on the ship. So people who are currently watching this throughout each person's account can kind of come to him as a convergence point. And alongside also doing little videos where at the end of the day, he sits in his room right outside the window where the waves are passing by, which is so aesthetically pleasing, and opens up, what are they? I don't even know what he calls them.
What, you thought I wasn't going to bring Gashapon to Antarctica? I'm going through the Drake Passage, baby. Of course I'm opening Gashapon.
Now, I have no clue what Gashapon are, but they're not exactly important to the story. However, Wikipedia article, bam, right in your face. They're like, I guess, the things you find in vending machines that you pop open and you gotta see what's inside the funny little bubble. They look kind of cute, and honestly, him adding that onto his talk about his day is really cute and makes it very unique, and I enjoyed watching that. However, this is where we get to the part where I talked about him pissing off the Royal Caribbean Facebook group, because he does a video where he responds to a bunch of comments that he's been seeing where the Facebook group has been discussing him. Because when he discusses this cruise, he is brutally honest. He is completely neutral. So he talks about the good, he talks about the bad, and as he says, he talks about the ugly. And there is ugly, there is bad, because you're on a cruise, there's drama, people go kind of crazy, and he receives comments like this.
Apparently, I have made it onto the Crown and Anchor Facebook group. I don't know what a Crown and Anchor society is, but apparently it's important in world. Scary world that must be. First one is incredible. It says, he might have a slip and fall and might end up you know where. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. I do like the insinuation that someone is gonna throw me overboard. I just don't like that you use the word might twice.
Now, this next comment he's gonna read actually requires a little bit of context, so allow me to just do a little bit of enlightening, okay? So, and this next comment mentions the fact that he talks about the water bottles on the ship not being free, because when he went to his room, the fridge was shit empty. There was nothing in it. And to get water bottles, you had to go buy them yourself, which is kind of absurd. Usually, if you come to a cruise where you're on the ocean that's full of, you know, salt water, you'd have bottles supplied to you because water should be free. You need it to stay alive. But apparently, to get water bottles for free on the ship, you need to be a Royal Caribbean Pinnacle member. Yes, Royal Caribbean has a caste system. And to become a Pinnacle member, you need to have been on the sea for 700 days. Almost 2 years. years of sea shippery gets you water bottles and probably some other qualities, but water bottles require you to be on the sea for almost 2 years. That is absolutely insane, a little absurd, and I would consider just a bit jank.
Perhaps he should have brought his overpriced water bottle with him. A Pinnacle and RCL has spent 700 days at sea, yikes, and earned their status. Their cruise contract he agreed to clearly states no foul language. Can only hope he ends up in the brig and gets thrown off. First, go fuck yourself. Second, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10 because you kind of did agree with some of my points when you mentioned the overpriced water bottle. So you agree. You think that they're overpriced because they're not free. This one says, I hope they kick him off. The amount of pure lies he's spreading is terrible. I watched him the other night saying nobody could get water unless they were Pinnacle members. Funny, I'm on a cruise right now, and only Emerald, and they give us 4 bottles. Must be nice, bitch.
And there's also instances where Mark is getting into beef with people when he didn't even initiate beef in the first place. Someone commented on a TikTok of his saying, I don't think the workers on the ship get paid enough, to which he just agrees with them. And then he has a stitch that he then stitches, and I'm gonna just play his video because all the context is included there.
The myth that they don't make a living wage. But of course, he's put on this cruise ship to create drama and tea.
Oh girl, I'm not getting involved in all that, but it seems like after 10 minutes of research that the average yearly salary a Royal Caribbean worker makes is under $25,000. If you think that $25,000 is a livable wage, you're delusional.
In an effort to not make my video about 15 minutes long, I just wanted to just put that snippet, but the latter part of that video, he actually compliments this woman's content and also says that she looks pretty in the video that she recorded. So he isn't here to just be mean and sassy. He's just trying to talk. He's just talking about the cruise, and for some reason, he's managed to piss off the entirety of the cruise. I can't tell if it's because, like, he got on it for free because of a sponsor, or because he's only there for 18 days, so technically he's the lowest level of the caste system in the Royal Caribbean lore. I don't really know, because, like, there are other cruise members who point out flaws in the cruise as well. There was a TikToker I saw named Little Rat Brain who posted the 3 separate times that ports were canceled. So there's over 100 or some of them, so it's not exactly bad that the ports were canceled, but that's still money you're not getting worth. It's just goofy. I don't know, like, what is the reason that this guy is so incredibly hated by the general public on this cruise? I have to be missing something. Like, there was literally an instance where he was going live, and he managed to make friends with someone who had the VIP pass to get into the town hall meeting, or some sort of meeting, and they managed to sneak him into it while he was live on TikTok, and somehow, someone on the TikTok chat paid money to call to the ship and have him escorted out because they knew he wasn't supposed to be there. So someone watching his stream decided to spend money to get revenge on someone in a essentially TikTok reality show thousands of miles away from them. What kind of spite drives that kind of action? He posted this TikTok saying that he got called to the principal's office because they called guest services on him. It's just absurd. It's so incredibly wild to watch go down. It's honestly, this makes it more of a reality TV show because now we have an underdog to root for. And our boy Mark has left the voyage. He has left the cruise. He's finally home after his 18-day trip to Antarctica. And honestly, I think it's just a goofy situation. Like, you can just laugh about it because it's not like he was genuinely harmed. He wasn't thrown overboard, or like there's someone broke into his lodge in the night and poured wine on him and that's why all the wine's gone. It's just a goofy situation where we can now have an underdog to root for and laugh at the situation as a whole, and also have some goofballs that we get to point at and be like, dude, what's wrong with you? Why are you so maliceful and ugly about it? It's just so weird. It's so strange, and honestly, nothing less than what I expected on the Royal Caribbean World Cruise. So I'm happy I was able to cover this for you guys in a video. I obviously am going to come back to this because this is 9 months long and we're only 2 months in, so expect more in the future, but for now, I'm going to end this video here. I appreciate you guys being here. If you stuck the whole way through, thank you so much. Subscribe if you are new to stick around for future videos, because I make them every single day. And if you want to like the video as well to catch me on your homepage more often, I would consider that kind of freaking swag. Why did I say it like that? Thank you for being here. Just thank you. It genuinely means a lot. Also, I recently started adding, I don't know which side to point to, the JDRF fundraiser thing, I think it's over here, to my videos, because I realized that now that I've passed 10,000 subscribers, I can actually add fundraisers to my videos. And so I can, while also still making ad revenue to support myself, have the fundraiser on the side where people can choose to donate and also support JDRF, which is a diabetes foundation. I have diabetes. It all works out. I don't want to stay here and talk too much, though. I'm going to hit the road. Thank you guys for being absolutely beautiful. I'll probably talk about the fundraiser more in the future. And as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, And do not talk shit about the Royal Caribbean World Cruise.